The thing that I keep saying to folks is like, look, over the past 20 years, 30 years, we've basically digitized every single piece of information in the world across every category. There was a wave where we digitized communication, then we digitized music, then we digitized video. Now we're getting to the part where you get down to digitizing the financial instruments. And at every step, what's happened is the same process where you just do the entire category over the course of about 10 years. You get a few huge breakout successes, and then the world is kind of irrevocably changed and there's no way back, right? There's no way back from streaming services. Nobody will ever go back to just you have to buy physical things to listen to music. What I kind of see here in the space as a whole is a huge confusion of vision. So early on in the days of the internet stuff, there was an idea of the celestial library. It was the library that had all knowledge in it, and you could access it immediately, and it would cost practically nothing, and that was the thing. Similarly with the blockchain, what we really ought to be moving towards is kind of a celestial marketplace. The idea that every single thing in the world that you want has a price tag. The transactions are instant, the transactions are basically free, the information is 100% reliable, and you get exactly what you pay for, whether you're buying it whole, part, or in some complex, kind of derivative product. Fund structure, whatever it happens, synthetic asset, however you want to think about it, whole, part, or in combination, you ought to get perfect performance every time. So if we think about that notion of a kind of celestial marketplace for assets, everything that we've got right now is basically the equivalent of a record company minting vinyl. And if you think of the record companies trying to defend the vinyl niche, that's basically what the financial regulators are doing. They're the custodians of the vinyl ecosystem. So my hope here is that what we're going to get is a really systemic total shift to the point where you wind up with something that is kind of like Spotify for finance, only not centralized, not run by a single company, and not extractive and abusive. And that second part of not run by a single company and not extractive and abusive, the fact that the blockchain folks are focused so much on governance, project integrity, founder integrity, the ability to do decentralized governance and things like DAOs, that to me is a fundamental global institutional learning about the disaster that, for example, streaming brought, where, you got access to everything for listeners, but the musicians have never been more badly paid or less happy. And I kind of feel like, we are at that point where we can now all sort of see, this celestial asset marketplace is very, very close. You can see the outline of it forming, but we're going to be real unhappy if that just turns out to be like BlackRock buys Amazon and now you can get assets on Amazon. So defending the political freedom and defending the vision becomes more and more important and harder and harder and harder the closer we get to shipping that celestial marketplace.